BRB Blazer.
The Seahawks, they went out and they signed Phillip Dorsett from the Patriots. He's a former first-round draft pick back in the day, Phillip Dorsett. So now they have Phillip Dorsett, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and they also went out and signed Greg Olsen. So this obviously isn't like a Phillip Dorsett thing to me, at least. It's kind of like a DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett thing. So just another mouth to feed in an offense. I mean, how do you feel about these receivers now? Because now you got three, and you even got Greg Olsen, where we've seen the tight end in Seattle, have a lot of fantasy value. I mean, we've seen guys like Jake Hollister, Disley, yeah, just guys like that. We saw Jimmy Graham that one year had 8, 10 touchdowns. So we do know that in Seattle they love to use the tight end. So I think Greg Olsen has a lot of value going forward. But I mean, for these receivers now, you got, like I said, DK Metcalf kind of broke out as a rookie. Tyler Lockett was pretty consistent for the most part. I mean, do you feel comfortable taking these guys, or is it one of the situations where they have to fall to the right price?
I kind of feel like it's just par of the course. I don't really think anything changed.
Yeah.
I just think he's they kind of needed a 3. They didn't have anyone outside of Lockett and DJ Moore. DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah. I think it's just a good signing for the Seahawks. It's a little bit of a bump for Russell Wilson, but I think he's just going to be the 3 there. And probably, I mean, Tyler Lockett's someone, I don't know if I'll be touching him at his price this year anyways, but it doesn't really change my opinion on DK Metcalf this year.
Yeah. You still like DK?
Yeah, DK might actually be one of my targets. I think if he could take a leap, he might pass Lockett as number 1.
Yeah.
Phillip Dorsett, I will say, last year he won me a couple weeks towards the end of the year with the Patriots. But I will say I always notice it's like the Patriots just make every player look better. They just play to their what do they call it? Play to their
strengths.
Their strengths. That was me forgetting the word strengths. Okay, but yeah, it just seems like every time the Patriots have anybody on their team, they look really good, and then they go onto another team, and then they do play like shit. So if you're looking at like Phillip Dorsett and looking at his numbers towards the end of the season, kind of dismiss that.
He was 29 receptions, 397 yards for 5 touchdowns last year.
Towards the end of the year, he started doing.
He had some decent games, but like you said,
like
Bill Belichick's
had
a
all
smart
those,
coach.
I feel like all those were in like 4 games.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was like a stretch of there.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, even then, it's like he couldn't really, who was there in New England, like besides Edelman?
They didn't have anybody.
And it's like they didn't really have anybody, and he couldn't even really take control over there. So it's like, it's just like he might not even be the 3. They might have Deron Moore, or what the fuck his name is, Deron Brown ended up being the 3, and he's just another guy in the rotation. So it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like a meh. I just don't think it really affects the offense. I think it more just helps Russell Wilson as anything, and it's a good move for the Seahawks team to get another receiver to help them out.
So DK Metcalf stays the same. Tyler Lockett, slight bump down. Phillip Dorsett's just nothing.
Yeah.
I think the only way he's anything is if something happens.
It didn't really change my opinion on the tight end at all either. Which, you kind of on board with what you said.
Yeah.
About the whole value and all that.
I mean, for me, it's early, but I think I'm just gonna, when the MVP odds come out, I'm not sure if they're out or not. I know sports books are closed out here in Vegas because of coronavirus, but I think I'm just gonna throw $100 on Russell Wilson to win the MVP. I mean, even if he's like 12-1, I don't know what his odds are, 15-1, 20-1, but I mean, getting a guy like Phillip Dorsett just helps them. Obviously, like you said, he's better than the 3, and if DK can make that next leap, we saw Jadeveon Clowney right now. He's on the screen, pick 6, but should be re-signing Jadeveon Clowney to the biggest defensive player deal in the league. Then, like I said, get Greg Olsen right there, just a savvy veteran, and they like to use the tight ends there. So
Greg Olsen's
gonna
be nasty.
I think Russell Wilson could be sneaky. He could end up being like the QB1, sneaky wise. Sneaky wise.
Sneaky.
I feel like he's always. I do
like those
there.
lime green uniforms though.
Do you?
Do.
You're just saying that because you fucking know I hate him.
No, I do like him. Do you have to see half my wardrobe?
Bro, yeah, he's got the EDC lineup wardrobe.
I mean, I'm wearing like a bright purple hat right now, but also, dude, that shit, that highlighter.
The highlighter?
No,
I like
it's
the
so
highlighter green.
fucking stupid, dude.
Do you know? I will just wait till tonight when you're alone.
Bro, look, you're saying that's dope?
I like it.
That's the dumbest looking shit I've ever seen. That is so stupid.
You blind the opposition.
I don't like it.
It looks fucking.
Yeah.
There's
other people out there who like.
You ever seen a vagina by itself?
Not for me.
Not for me.
Truly though, dude.
But yeah, no, I just think I like this for Russell Wilson. I think he could be the QB1 next year. I know there was a stat I saw. I think it's like 12 years straight that no quarterback has repeated as the quarterback one from the previous year. So Lamar Jackson was the QB1 last year. So 12 straight years, no quarterback has repeated it. Obviously, Mahomes has a good chance as anybody to be the QB1. But yeah, I think I'm going to take Russell Wilson to be the MVP.
I like it.
I like it.
To your point and to Andre's point, he talks about how they don't have a running back. I mean, technically they do have two guys, but to his point, those guys have been injured.
Yeah.
So this is another reason to even potentially still like Lockett and DK Metcalf is, they've been running at a really efficient rate. Chris Carson and then Penny when he was there. If these guys aren't the same guys next year due to consistent injuries with them and they're, kind of out there, I hate to say the word plodding, but if they are somewhat plodding, who's going to have to pick up the slack?
Yeah.
It's going to be Russell Wilson in the passing game. And you did see a difference of they did pass a little bit more from year one to year two because the defense took a step back. So if the defense is just average again and the running game's not getting it done, they got to win football games. And if they're not rushing at the same level they were, Russell Wilson's going to have to pick up the slack. And you could see that old Russell Wilson where he was like QB1, QB2, QB3 type of guy. So like I said, to Andre's point where he's talking about the running backs not being healthy, it is a concern you have to take into account. And then, like you said, Russell Wilson, another weapon. And if that is the case, he's going to throw even more than he has the last few years.
For sure.
I like it.
I like it.
Fucking like it.